So you all know about the viral hepatitis and different viruses also, and you must be aware of the WHO call for the eradication or the elimination of the different kind of the hepatitis by 2030 also. And when this virus was discovered, I was a student and taking training in the DM gastroenterology in this very institute in 1989, when the discovery of the hepatitis C virus was published in the Science. And those three people, now they got the Nobel Prize for the medicine in 2020. You all know, as far as the burden of the hepatitis C virus is concerned, there are 71 million people living with the chronic hepatitis C virus infection worldwide, and there are 400,000 deaths per year from the liver failure or from the liver cancer together, and an estimated of 1.75 million people are newly infected with hepatitis C virus each year. And this is an enormous task and the challenge that we have in coming years, because we have to uh, conquer this viral hepatitis related to the hepatitis C. In 2015 alone, it was estimated that the China has 10 million people living with the hepatitis C virus, followed by the Pakistan 7.2 million, India 6.2 million, and in Punjab alone 1.08 million, and Egypt 5.6 million, and all these the count the 40% of the global PLSCV. So, what are the WHO to 2030 global elimination targets? Number one, that there should be 80% of the people with the hepatitis C virus should be treated, and there should be the 90% reduction in the incidence of the new infections. You mean the newer infection is 1.75 million. By the 2030, it should be 0.175 or less million. And there should be 65% reduction in the liver-related mortality that is estimated from 2015 level. And you can see now these are the six WHO zones also and regions. You can see that there are various programs they are going on in different countries. For example, in Punjab we are having, in China we have, in Australia we have, Mongolia, and there are so many countries, including USA and the European countries. And this is all bigger for the elimination of the hepatitis C by 2030. So there are the efforts they are going on in different countries, and the most of the countries they have some or other kind of a program for the same. Here you can see on the your left side of the panel also, here is the number of the people living with the SCV here. So 11, so these are the six WHO regions. In Africa, it is the 11 millions, America 7, and Eastern Mediterranean region 15. That includes the Egypt also. And you can see these are the estimated number of the people living with SCV. Here you can see the incidence rate also. Just note it is the Eastern Mediterranean region, and it is the 62.5 per 100,000 population. And the European region you can see here 61.8. So this is the enormous task ahead of us that we have to complete by 2030. And these are the treatment drugs you can see over here. I'm just giving you an idea that in the lower income groups or lower middle income countries, you can see the prices of these drugs is very low. That means they could be available to the general population. And I'll give you the example of the Punjab, where the price of this treatment is less than $1 per day. So for the 12 week, that is 84 days, it was nearly $72 or so. So as far as the prices are concerned, they are not very much prohibited even in the low income or lower middle income group countries also. So the prices prevalent in LMIC is not only the cost effective, but also the cost saving also. I'll come into that part also. Because why they are the cost effective or the cost saving? Because they effectively curtail the progression of the SCV and reduce the risk for the cirrhosis, decompensation, and the SCC. Because once you treat now at this stage, the subsequent complication and the death rate would go down, and so is the cost that is occurring on these complications will also go down, and the cost of the treatment is offset by the saving in future healthcare costs also, what I have just told you, thus leading to an overall monetary savings while at the same time increasing the quality adjusted life year. So which is a measure of the value and the benefit of the health outcome. You all know that the length of life, that is the mortality, and the quality of the life, that is the morbidity. So QALY, that is the QALY, is primarily measures of the both, that is the mortality as well as the morbidity. Another factor contributing to overall expenditure is the cost of the screening test, confirmatory test also. And you will see that that cost has also gone down also, and we are inching towards the POCT also as far as the NAT testing is concerned. But can we do it? It is kind of a thing that is conquering the mount improbable. Why? These are the target that is in front of us, and we have to achieve by the 2030. But most of the countries will miss these targets because they are not investing and engaging fully in the elimination. So there are many countries, they are not engaging as far as the elimination is concerned, and the situation is likely to worsen during the COVID-19 pandemic, you all know. And there are several regions, and because of all those things, the current status and the efforts of at the elimination have been changed. Only at the and you can see that as far as the high income countries are concerned, only 18 countries are on track to meeting their elimination target by 2050, not 2030. And among these, only 11 countries, that is Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and UK were on the track to eliminating the SCV by 2030 based upon the 2019 data. I'm talking that 2019 data, this is the data that is the pre-COVID time, and now the figures are different. A furthermore, 5 countries like Australia, Malta, Netherlands, New Zealand, and South Korea are on track to meet the targets by 2040, and the Saudi Arabia can achieve by 2050, but United States after 2050. So this is the state of the affair as of now. And so there are the changes also. Now the CDC now recommends screening of all adults older than 18 years at least once in their lifetime. Means, I mean to say, so screening has to be universal, and there are examples particularly from the Egypt also. And now they recommend also the use of the simplified treatment algorithm, means combination therapy, a tablet a day, a pill a day for 12 weeks, that is 84. And now, particularly in the COVID times, you can give all 84 tablets at the same time, and you can look for the sustained viral response. And there should, once you find that the antibody is present at the same time, the SCV RNA should be done immediately from the same sample also. Reducing the costs of the SCV treatment, this is particularly relevant in the high income countries where the cost is very high, particularly in the USA. So Netflix kind of a subscription model has been uh, 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 recommended over there. And what is Netflix like a subscription? In this, there is a for example, you all know it is a video screening kind of the program where you pay one time upfront, and you can have the access to ample number of the movies, shows, and other things also. In the same way, the use of the subscription payment contacts with the pharmaceutical companies provide healthcare plans and state with the ability to treat as many affected patients as they can over a given time at a fixed cost. So that is one of the alternative for treating such patients in high income group where the cost is very high. Another example, what I am saying is screening all. In Egypt, they have screened 62.5 million, and people over here, 79% of the 62.5 million people they were screened, and they found antibody positivity in 2.23 million and tested for SCV RNA, and they have diagnosed in 1.15, and ultimately they could start the treatment. So that is the kind of the approach we have to eliminate in the near future, that we have to do a universal screening and the treatment. And another thing is that I want to emphasize over here, the decentralized care. What we have done in Punjab, there were the 22 district and the 3 government colleges. So we have treated these patients at 25 centers across the Punjab, and while at the same time we had the capacity building of the primary healthcare physician, and they were all treating, and at the end we could treat more than 100,000 patients before I came to the Lucknow over here. And you can see that we use the echo program in this thing. Initially I told that when we started the program there was only 25 centers, but subsequently they were increased, and at the moment there are the 67 centers, which include sub-district hospital, ART center, and the OST centers also. Now you can realize that there is a pace for the detecting these patients also, as well as the treating also. So here you can say the cascade report over here, the screening positive over here, and the SVR eligibility here. Ultimately, we have treated uh, uh, 95,884, and with the result of the 93%, and that is using the decentralized care in Punjab also. This is the one example, and ultimately the program has been taken up at the national level. And here you can see what is the effect of the COVID-19 in the Punjab. Here you can see the red in the pink, it is the 2019 data, and 2020 here you can see that it has decreased, and in 2021 there is small pickup, I would say. So there is a profound effect of the COVID-19 on the care. And here is a cascade of the care in USA, and you can see only 17% of the those people they were now put on the therapy. It is very low because it is of the high cost of the medicine over there. So how did it happen? Avoidance of the healthcare facilities because of fear of the COVID-19, refocusing of the services towards the pandemic control, travel restriction, closure of the healthcare facilities, and the drug shortage. It all happened during the COVID-19 times. And the disruption of the available harm reduction services also. As a result, for example, you have the overdose detection mapping application program, and where they have detected there are 42% increase in reports of the overdoses, as well as there is the mortality also. So these are the things, because of the COVID-19 fear and other logistic issues, there are the problems that there is an increase in the SCV frequency also, and at the same time, there is a decrease in the care also. So we can say that any gains made in the SCV elimination efforts by 2019 may be reversed, or at best stalled by the pandemic also. Another study, the beautiful study, where they have in a model they have used, if there is no treatment is given during the 1 year period, so they will see that there is a decrease in the new diagnosis also, and the starting of the treatment also, but at the same time there will be the increase in the SCC cases also, and the death also. And the 1 year delay scenario will result in 44,800 access HCC cases and 72,000 over excessive liver related deaths related to the no delay scenario globally from 2020 to 2030. This is only for the 1 year. If the COVID persists for another a year or two, now you can imagine the targets that have to be achieved by 2030 will not be met also. So these are the two slides left over, the last two slides. So what is the potential solution to the pandemic related barriers to the SCV elimination? One thing is the case finding and linkage to the care, and you have to develop a new system, because we cannot have all the time, because if this person to the person contact is not required, therefore the other alternatives have to be find out. And similarly, optimize and the effective delivery system for the SCVDAs from the pharmacies or appropriate health system side to the patient. That is very important. We have to develop the newer develop systems also that deliver medication to the patient's homes or the community location for pickup, and that may be useful for the effectively elimination of SCV during this time or the barrier. And another thing is that because we don't want the person to person contact, therefore there should be minimal monitoring strategy. Don't do excess of thing. Do the minimal test as much as you can do. At the same time, use the non-invasive test to rule out the cirrhosis also. And you can give all 84 tablet, for example, the soft velpatasib at one time, and then two remote contacts with the study staff at weeks 4, just to know what about the adherence, and for at the 22 schedule as a SVR visit. So this is the one of the study that the minimum monitoring, min-mon study has been published. It was presented only the last year, and it has, I would say, impact as far as the elimination strategy for the SCV is concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like to conclude. 71 people living with the chronic SCV infection worldwide as of now, and WHO goal you all know, and most countries will miss this target because they are not investing or engaging. And now, top of it, there is a COVID-19 pandemic, which is likely to delay to meet these dates in future also. The potential solution to the pandemic related, I'm talking of the COVID-19 pandemic related barriers to SCV elimination, may include development of the new system for the case finding and linkage to the care, development of the optimized and the effective delivery system for the SCV DAs from pharmacies or appropriate health system sites to the patient, and minimal monitoring strategy. That's all from my side, and thank you so much.
Please go ahead.